welcome back guys to my channel for my next video. I'm really excited to make this one. I've been waiting a while. This was actually my first video idea, but I already had the elite stuff written down, so I was like, let me do the elite first. But anyways, let's get into this video. So, if you didn't know, the video was on Poppy, one of my favorite music pop stars, creators of all time. I love her. So I'm gonna break this album or this video into 3 parts. The first part is gonna be about the evolution of Poppy and how she became the artist she is today. Then is gonna be me ranking and talking about her albums and EPs. And then I'm gonna talk about the Titanic Sinclair situation with Mars Argo and all that. So, let's get into part 1. So, Poppy started out wanting to be an actress. That was her main goal, and you see that in some of the videos she makes, how she has this persona, this character, because you've seen her talk in real life. I mean, I've seen her. She doesn't act like that in real life. But, so Poppy started out as a small, uncredited role on Jessie as an extra. She was in the class with Jessie and Robbie. And then after that, she decided to move on to making YouTube videos, and that's where a lot of those YouTube videos, like the iconic, like I'm Poppy, I'm Poppy, I'm Poppy, all those weird YouTube videos that YouTube was obsessed with for a long time. And then after that, during that time, her manager and boyfriend at the time, Titanic Sinclair, who was really abusive. If you look into it, I'll get more into it, but if you really look into it, it gets deep. So Titanic was influencing the persona, the videos, the music. Her first EP came out at the time. It was called Bubble Bath, and it had 4 tracks: Alter, Money, Low Life, and American Kids, and they're all good. I actually really all love those tracks. So yeah, it was that first EP was not like the pop persona at all. It was a very bubblegum pop type EP. There wasn't any dark messages until you watched the music video, but it was a very cute little EP. And all while the video was happening and the music was happening, she was with Titanic, and then all the stuff with Mars Argo happened, but that's not till a little later. Anyways, her first album finally came out then, and it was called Poppy.Computer. She really heavily leaned into the robotic pop singer persona that we all kind of know. Like that was the height of her career, in my opinion. That's when everyone knew Poppy. It was an okay album. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't very genuine, but it was very cute and very fun to listen to. Yeah, there's not much to say about that album. It was good. I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. Then came her next album, which is my favorite. It's not her best, and we'll get into her best later, but it is definitely my favorite. It's called Am I a Girl? It has messages in it, and she's still using the robot persona, but she's starting to realize that Titanic is a terrible person, so she sings about him being like, am I just a replica of someone you used to love? Mars Argo. And then in the last 3 songs, she does this new metal type approach. It was very heavy metal type songs, and she's talking about it's this side of Poppy that we didn't really get to see. So after I Am a Girl came the whole breakup with Titanic Sinclair. This was all under wraps. It wasn't known to the public. They were together for a while, and then Poppy finally realized that, hey, I shouldn't be in with this. It was very secretive for a while. They didn't officially announce their breakup until, I want to say, late 2018 or late 2019. I don't exactly remember. I think it was late 2019 though, but I think they broke up in early 2018 or late 2018. I don't remember. Anyways, I digress. So, at this time, she also got a YouTube original mini movie. It was not a movie, but it wasn't a TV show. It was this 40-minute thing, which was, I liked it. I watched it. It was one of those YouTube originals, so you had to pay for the subscription. Luckily, at this time, it was like December time when it came out, so I had gotten the YouTube original thing for the YouTube Red for Christmas, so I was able to watch it. It was good. I recommend it. It was weird. You have to really be into Poppy to get it, but like, it was good. It was definitely good. So after that and the breakup came her first new metal, like fully new metal, and like kind of like deep meaning message song EP. It was called Choke. It was very new metal. It was her first full body of work that was new metal, and it was good. I really liked it. It showed a side of Poppy that we hadn't seen before that I really liked. It was such a good jam out, rock out song. She had a Fever 333 feature on there, and it was good. I didn't know they existed until then, and then I got into their discography and I was like impressed. So yeah, that was good. I recommend checking that out. And then a month after her EP Choke came out, she released ICU, which to people that didn't know Poppy, it seemed odd to release an album that was entirely instrumental, didn't have any lyrics. It seemed odd to release that, but as a Poppy stan and a Poppy connoisseur, I knew about her first ever music thing, which was 333 music to sleep through, if I remember. It was like 3:3. It was like 333. 333 music to sleep to. It was an odd album. It was another instrumental album, so it was like, what is this? And then so when ICU, Music to Read To, came out, I was like, oh, it's like her first album, which you can't find 333 on Spotify or anywhere. You have to like deep dive into YouTube to find it. Maybe not that deep dive, but I think you gotta definitely search for it. So yeah, it wasn't surprising, and I liked it. It's not, I think it's my least favorite, just because it's like, it's an instrumental album. What am I gonna do? But then 2020 February, because I remember exactly where I was when this album dropped, and I remember, wow, ooh girl, let me tell you. I Disagree came out, which is her best work. It is so genuine and emotional. That was a good album. It was a new metal album, like almost entirely. And then she talks about her breakup with Titanic. She talks about how the way you treated me, the way you made me feel, the way you treated women, more importantly. And then when she really gets into it, and she's like, oh, it's only 10 songs long and it's short, but it's every minute of that album was good. I really highly recommend it. I think that is her best body. It's not my favorite because I love the just poppiness of I Am I a Girl, but I disagree. There's nothing bad to say about that album. Nothing bad. If you have nothing to do, which you probably do have nothing to do with quarantine, watch it. Listen to it. Listen to the album. Go through her whole discography. Embrace the Poppy. So, let's do part 2. I'm really excited about this part because I want to talk about her albums. So, now let's get into part 2. I'm really excited for this part because I love ranking albums and talking about albums. So, I'm doing it from worst to best in my opinion. If you have a different opinion, go off in the comments, but in my opinion, this is worst to best, and I'm also going to do my favorite, or my least favorite to favorite. So, from worst to best, it's going to start with 333 Music to Sleep To. I originally wasn't going to talk about this, but then since I brought it up, I was like, might as well. So, it's the least one because it's just an instrumental album, and it was like not anything special. And then Right after, I would say, is ICU, Music to Read To, because again, it's another instrumental album. There's not much to it. After that, I would say Bubble Bath. It was her first ever thing other than 333. So, yeah, for her first thing, it was actually really good. For her first EP, but then there was just, it wasn't it. It wasn't fully it yet. Then I would have to say Poppy.Computer. It was not a bad album. It's just when you compare it to the other two and everything else, it's like, there's not as much heart in it as everything else. There's not as much genuine emotion in it as she put into everything else. So speaking of emotion, I would say next would be her Choke EP. I really like the Choke EP. It only has 5 songs and they're all good. And it's very weird. For me, I was so used to the pop persona of Poppy that I was a little blown back when she did her first new metal song, which was Bloody? No, it was X. It was X. In her Am I a Girl album. And then came the full new metal EP Choke, where I was like, this is something else. It took me a minute to get used to it, but then after that I was like, you know what? I'm with it. I'm very much with that. So this was a turning point for me, and for music that I liked, I started to branch out and listen to some new metal, which I'm not a huge metal fan. I will never admit to liking metal. Like, to people, like, if people ask me what's my favorite genre, I'll never say new metal. But in secret, it's something I play a lot. But it's not even, it's really just like Poppy and like Fever 333. And then like, I don't know, maybe someone else every now and then. Grimes. Does she do new metal? Yeah, I guess she has a few new metal songs. Anyways. So the Choke EP was really good for me. I really liked what it did for Poppy's career and how she was like, I'm a whole new person. And she didn't do new metal just to be edgy or angsty. She did it because she was like, this is something I want to do. This is something I want to break away from my boyfriend. From my ex-manager, from my ex-boyfriend. I want to be a whole new Poppy. So she was like, well, what's the complete opposite of pop? New metal. So I applaud her for that, and that's why I really like that. So next, her second best is Am I a Girl? I think a lot of people who would probably agree. It's not as genuine, especially in the beginning, but at the end it starts to get a lot more heartfelt. And it's just, I love it. It's such a, like, there's songs you could vote to. There's songs that I've heard on TikTok off that album. And then there's songs you could dance to, and then there's the new metal song. That album was very diverse, and I think that's why a lot of people like it. So, with that, Am I a Girl is my favorite because it's just so dynamic, but it's not the best. The best is I Disagree, period. I don't think anything... That is one of the only albums I've given like a 10 out of 10 to. I don't know if it's because I'm biased or not. I think a lot of people agree that album's really good. The pure emotion, she was like, you know what, I'm going all out. I don't care what people think. She may have lost fans in this whole situation, changing up her style, but you know what, she was like, I don't care. This is what I want to do. And that's why I applaud Poppy. I really do. I Disagree was a really good album. If you only want to check out one album, I would suggest I Disagree, and then please do Am I a Girl? It's so good. I love Am I a Girl. I will ride it out for that album. So now I'm gonna rank them from favorite or least favorite to favorite. My least favorite is 333, and then ICU, and then Poppy.Computer, and then Bubble Bath, and then Choke, and then I Disagree, and then Am I a Girl? I really love Am I a Girl? So, let's get into part 3, the Poppy persona and what it is, and Titanic Sinclair. So, the Poppy persona was just this whole when she started dating Titanic, she told him about how she wanted to be an actress and she wanted to do music, and he was like, well, best way to get attention on the internet is do something crazy and weird, which is true. At the time of Poppy, there was a lot of conspiracy videos and there was a lot of weird things circling around YouTube. That was a big thing. So she had this weird robot persona, and people thought she was on drugs, and people thought she was a robot, and people thought she was being mind controlled, and they had all these crazy theories, and she was huge. That whole I'm Poppy video was a 10-minute video of her saying I'm Poppy over and over. Blew up. It blew up. And I was like, you know. And at first I was like, I was so intrigued with Poppy that I was like, whoa. And I didn't really, whenever she was huge, I didn't really get into the videos, but I checked out her Bubble Bath EP, which was the only thing that was out, and I instantly fell in love. Instantly? Yeah. Well, I was only exposed to her 2 singles, which was Low Life and Money. And I loved both of them, and then I was so sad there wasn't more, and then I stuck around, and then more came, and I was like, and then here we are. That whole transformation, I can't think of any other artist that went from this to that. Okay, Miley Cyrus, but other than that, I can't think of many other artists that just changed their whole persona like that. So next we have the persona. It was basically just she wanted to get people's attention. She made a whole cult. This was all under Titanic Sinclair, because after that she changed it up to a little bit. She was this robot girl, and people didn't understand. She was like, you hear this in her music where she's like talking about being a robot. Poppy's an object, computer boy. You really listen to her album and her music, and you watch her videos, and you're like, she's trying to be a robot. And it was a fun persona. It definitely hooked me, but the music made me stay. The hook was the persona. What made me stay was the music, and the fun videos. Like, I had nothing better to do than watch Poppy videos. So after Titanic and her broke up, Poppy decided to keep the persona but change it. It was like a rogue robot type thing. Like, it was like, I'm off my handler, I'm done. And you know what? And it really showed, because, you know, when she went to events, like music events or TV events, she always brought Titanic with her, and she was always on a leash or in a cage of some sort, or like being controlled by Titanic. And that is ironic, because she was actually being controlled by Titanic, and the persona was being controlled by Titanic, and she was actually being controlled by Titanic in real life. I'll get into Titanic in a minute, but after they broke up, she was like this rogue robot doing her own thing. I'm a new metal robot. Look at me. I am dangerous. I really liked it. I honestly forget, because when you look, her albums really started to stray away. Like, it still had those robot themes, but it wasn't as much as like a creepy robot. It was just like, I'm robotic. And so that's why I really like, I honestly, when I listen to I Disagree, I forget that she had that robot persona, that old robot persona. So now let's get into Titanic. I'll start with Titanic before he even met Poppy, because I think that's where you have to start. So Titanic was this man who used women. He dated this internet personality, Mars Argo, which had a similar kind of thing with Poppy. Like, they had a similar situation, but Mars Argo like sued. So anyways, Mars Argo was being used, and she had this weird, creepy blonde girl aesthetic, just like Poppy. She made these weird, creepy videos. She was like another robot. And then she was like, you know what? No, I'm done with you, Titanic. I don't like being used and abused by you and all this mental abuse. So she left him. Then, apparently, songs that she wrote were being used for Poppy. I think that's like Poppy.computer a lot of it was written by Mars Argo unintentionally. And then now Poppy writes her own stuff, and it's so much better. So after Poppy and Titanic got together, Titanic, I guess, came in first saying, here's what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And he was controlling her, and he was abusing her and making her feel worthless. And then, as time went on, Mars Argo caught on and was like, hey, you guys are literally copying my whole thing. And so she sued them. I don't remember if she won the court case or not. You'll have to do research for yourself. Maybe I'll put in a little thing whether she won or not. But after that whole situation, I guess Poppy, like, it clicked, and so she left Titanic Sinclair. Thank God. So after leaving him, the music got better, the persona got better. It was just so much better. Titanic is one of your classic mental and physical abusive boyfriends, and I know some people that are going through that right now, and I just want to help them out, but I'm not going to name names. Anyways, so yeah, she was being abused and used, and, you know, Titanic was really mostly doing it to get back at Mars Argo. That's why he was stealing her stuff. And he didn't have a creative ounce of juice in his body. He had to steal the Mars Argo stuff to really get Poppy to where she was. And then, you know, she did so much better without him. It's funny. But yeah, I think that's the whole Poppy situation. I think that's everything. Poppy still, she still wants to act, and she does act. I mean, this whole persona is an act, so yeah. But I really like Poppy. I think you guys should check her out. It's worth it. But I'll see you guys on my next video. I think my next video is going to be Glee, and then I have some other stuff planned. I don't want to give it all away now, but do keep tuned, because stay in with the videos, because I'm sure you're going to find something you like. I mean, I want to do Glee. I plan on doing a One Direction video soon, and then some other stuff in the works, but I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like, a comment, share, and subscribe. Yeah. Well, I'll see you guys later. Bye.